Guys, it's Matt. It is Wednesday, March 27th. A few hours after the market at this point. I'm getting to this a little late today. Had some other stuff going on. Um, and You can see interesting that the SPY had kind of this bounce and run day with a big run into the close, right? Uh, and then we can look at the other indices real quick. Q's bounced as well off the moving averages there. IWM had a big day. MDY had a big day. So new highs, right? For a couple of these, for MDY, for oh, I guess not a couple of them, just one. Sorry, I was seeing things that I didn't actually see. But you know, uh, my watch list of things that I'm paying attention to, not much happening. On my like daily watch list and my master watch list. There wasn't much going on. Let's go through some of the names. First, I want to show you like some of the names that had big down days. Nvidia, Now, Netflix, SNPS, Coinbase, CrowdStrike. Had some decent down days. Especially, I mean, Coinbase is volatile, so that's not surprising. But Netflix, huge red candle, right? I mean, compared to it's almost double some of the recent moves. So not buy an eyeball there. Big dog dick candle on this one too, right? But then we can look at least this is my watch list, by the way, uh, of things that I watch. So this doesn't include everything, but a couple of capital market names had big days, and then some metals and Marvell, which is a semiconductor. But if we look at the other semis, they didn't do so well, like the big ones. If we look at AMD. Didn't really have a great day, although it's kind of tightening up a little bit, so that's nice. Nvidia we saw before, but that had a nice a little pullback to the 20 there and a little bounce at the end of the day. So it's interesting. I mean, we don't. I'll go through my watch list in a minute here, but we don't really have, at least to me, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys noticing something that I'm not seeing, more than happy to accept some help, some guidance in that direction, and steer my eyes to what I'm missing. But I don't see that we have um, a part of the market or a sector, is the word I'm looking for, that's like really leading the charge right now. Like a couple weeks ago, we had semis, right? We had Nvidia and AMD, and even Marvell jumped into the action, like TSM, like they were just crushing it, and that was just kind of pulling everything else up with it, right? And so then we just had this across the board momentum going on, and it was awesome. You could kind of dive into everything. There was follow through everywhere. It was almost hard. It was hard to miss, hard to pick losers, right? And those are the types of markets that one, a swing trading long breakout type system is going to do really well in. And it's also one of those markets where you can start to feel like you're a genius, and then it starts to cool off and starts to chop around like it has been lately. And all of a sudden you feel like an idiot. Um, so you just have to be careful of that. But let's take a look through what I was looking at this morning. So interactive brokers, this is, again, it's chopping around. It wasn't really actionable, but I wanted to keep an eye on it because it's making some decent gains there. AFRM didn't do anything that I liked. XLV, which I tried to jump in on this a couple days ago. I thought it had a good little sit up, or was this yesterday? Maybe I tried to jump in on this. I think it was yesterday, and then it didn't go anywhere. Actually, it stopped me out for a small loss, but then has a huge gap up. I'm considering that a huge gap compared to normal, and then has a run day, right? But it's like, well, how do you know to stay in that overnight? You don't. So you just have to get out, and then it runs away without you. And sometimes that happens. AbbVie, it's already kind of made a run. I'm not really. I'm keeping an eye on it, but I'm not. It's not actionable. DOCN, I tried this morning. I took a shot at this one, and because it broke yesterday's high, and pretty much initially, yeah, not initially, it pretty much um, instantly just reversed reverse field and took me out. I had a very tight leash on that. Like I think I got in 39.50. So right here at the break of yesterday's high, and then my stop was right here below the 20 moving average. I figured if it turned around and talk and stopped me out there, then I was done. And so it ended up being a 0.36 R loss. So not a big deal, but it was and then after that I was like, all right, I'm not touching anything today because we haven't had that follow through lately, especially the stuff that I'm watching, and so I'm not going to start firing at other things too. PSTG never hit yesterday's highs, although it is kind of coiling up right there. Right, we had a nice little. It's not an inside day, but we had a nice little tight day there. Um, AMD, I like this maybe for tomorrow. Again, it all depends on do we see some strength. The problem with AMD is like AMD and Nvidia are both not having a great time. Then let's see, TSM not exactly lighting it up, right? Uh, where do you go from here, right? So I like the look of AMD by itself. I'm like, oh, it's kind of tightening up here. It's right near the 50. If it can pop up below or pop up above the 50 and hold, cool. We might make a run and take out the 20, and yeah, then we're off and running back to the highs, right? But also this could just chop around for a while, for months, for years, who knows? Um, so we'll keep an eye on it, but no promises. So BK is that's a frustrating one because I tried to take a stab at that a while back and it didn't. I think it like stopped me out the next day. It was a small win, but and then it had a nice run afterward. Uh, Net didn't really do anything. I was loving NTAP, also not. I call, I call it NTAP, and I could just call it NetApp, the actual name of the business, but for some reason it's because of the way the ticker is. I like calling it NTAP. JP Morgan is having a good little run, right? I mean, they had a nice run last week and then the pullback and then another update today. So CRWD, the TSM was already on my list there. And then Lilly kind of flattening out there. We'll see. I mean, I think it's the weight loss drug, the GLP-1 agonists, that is having a good effect on Lilly here, but we'll see where it goes. I don't know that this one's actionable right now for me. It would have to, yeah, it would have to show me something I got really excited about. But oh, I don't think we looked at the 10-year, kind of a flat day. The dollar, meh, right? Nothing really crazy going on. Gold was up. Where's VIX? VIX is down. So anyway, guys, I really, to me, there's no market leader right now. There's no like group of stocks that are just carrying the flag, leading the charge, where everybody else is rallying behind. I think we're in probably a little cool off period here, which is healthy. I think that's a good thing overall. It's just a time probably to sit on your hands, be super selective about what you decide to play, and maybe honestly don't play anything and just you're not going to catch the first couple of runners, but once the momentum comes back in, you'll see the first three go past you, and then you'll say, okay, I think it's time to start jumping in on things again, and you'll catch the meat of the move with whatever's left, right? So there's no reason to try to be early and try to guess what the next thing is that's going to pop off. I just think you're going to get chopped up. And I've taken some paper cuts over the past week or two. In fact, right now, as for March, I'm at break even, which is why I'm kind of just pumping the brakes and going, okay, like I was up earlier in the month. I gave a good chunk of that back or all of it, and I'm at break even, and I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm not going to go into the red. Not that a monthly split really means anything necessarily, but it's just a good indicator. Like, okay, I was up and now I'm down, or not down, but I'm break even, and okay, so that's not what I want to be doing. And if I look at like my last, my last 11 trades, 10 of them are losses and one is a small win, right? So most of them are small losses too, but yeah, that's not a sustainable strategy, right? Now, here's the thing. This is well within the realm of when you've got a low win rate system where you're only expecting to maybe on the good periods win 50%. On the periods, you're winning 25, 30%. It's just that your wins are really big and your losses are really small, and that helps. This is within those parameters that you're going to go through some streaks where you're going to win 1 out of 11, right? But it's also a prudent time to say, okay, let's let's dial this back. Let's rein it in a little bit. Yeah, we're obviously not in the market that we were before, so let's just chill the hell out. If I look back in, I'm just going to pick random trades because, yeah, if I look back into January, there was a period where probably out of 10 or 15 trades, I only had 3 losses, right? So um, that's the thing. When you talk about win percentages, it all averages out over long periods of time. It's not necessarily that, every 10 trades you decide to sample of your system and that the odds are going to work out. The probability is going to work out just the way they do in the bigger picture, right? Anyway, I don't want to get into all that. So I might not even be making videos for a little while if things don't pick up because I don't feel like this is helpful for me, and it's probably then therefore not helpful for you. I also had some family stuff happen recently that I'm going to be traveling for, and so I likely there literally will be some days that I'm not in front of the screens. Also, I have some friends coming into town to visit, and I likely won't be in front of the screens for those either. Which I'm hoping we just maybe the market just keeps digesting and chopping around while I'm out there fucking off doing my thing, and then when I come back, it'll be ready for me. That'd be awesome. But anyway, I'll see you when I see you guys.